If you're like me, you're probably feeling all kinds of emotions after watching this week's episode of The Owl House. I don't know about you, but this episode really hit hard and close to home. Literally. And in my honest opinion, Luz really needs to and probably will go back to living with her mom when everything's all said and done. Here's why. Prior to this, I never got the impression that Luz actually wanted to leave the Boiling Isles behind to go back home, despite her verbally saying she wants to go home a number of times throughout the series. She obviously prefers her life in the demon realm, and if I'm being frank here, she's mostly concerned about her mom noticing that she's missing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't miss Camilla. Luz mostly hates how she has to conform to being a quote-unquote normal kid in her old life. She feels like she cannot be who she really is in the human realm, someone who lives and breathes magic and fantasy. At the same time though, I do recognize that a lot of this has to do with her mom, who has a habit of stifling her daughter's creativity. It's kinda effed up that Camilla would send her daughter to a summer camp to pretty much brainwash her into being someone she's obviously not. But at the end of the day, Luz loves her mom no matter what. She might have resented her negative opinions and reactions to her unconventional interests, and that has definitely played a huge role to Luz running away, but Luz never really hated her. If anything, she just doesn't want to disappoint her for not being the child she wants her to be. Episode 10 changes everything because Camilla has apologized to Luz for pushing her away and for not letting her be her authentic self. Essentially, Camilla is blaming herself for everything. I think Luz hearing those words come out of her mom's mouth made her realize that her mom needs her more than anything in the world, and she's actually willing to change. Some people might view this as her guilt-tripping Luz into coming home, and that could potentially be seen as toxic behavior, but we need to look at this from a different perspective. Camilla is presented to be a single mother, and I don't think it's by choice, as evident from the fact that she has or had a husband whom in turn is Luz's dad. We've never seen him in person yet, nor was he ever mentioned by either of them. So it's possible that he's either abandoned his family or he has unfortunately passed on. But imagine if it's the former. How devastated must Camilla be feeling to have her daughter tell her that she's glad that she's living somewhere else, when already she had a husband who left her. On top of that, her finding out that there's a whole demon realm that exists is a whole lot to take in as well. So her reaction to Luz having to leave her once again and then begging her to promise to stay with her is completely understandable. So honestly, I think we should cut her some slack. I mean, when Camila took out that chancla from her purse and was whooping Jacob's behind, that's 100 points for me. That gave me so much life. We actually found out that the summer camp Luz was supposed to go to wasn't so bad after all. The Basilisk Demon number 5, aka V, formerly known as Creepy Luz, who took her place, actually made some friends there, and they're people whom I believe Luz will get along as well. So you would think that the camp would be this horrible place where people like Luz would be miserable in all the time, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Therefore, if Luz were to go back to live in the human realm, I believe she would be able to find her own people, just like how V found hers with those high schoolers. Also, it seems like Camilla is sincere about wanting to change herself in order to let Luz be who she really is at home. Because after this episode, she now knows that all of the fantasy stuff that Luz is into is actually reality. And if she's still having doubts, V is the best person, or I mean demon, to clarify them. By the way, I think it's so sweet that Camilla is allowing V to stay with her despite everything that went down. She so deserves it though. I mean, V appreciates her unlike Luz. Just saying. Something tells me that we're eventually going to see V being officially part of the Noceda family in the near future. Overall, I predict that Luz will end up staying with her mom. I really think so. However, given that this is Disney and a cartoon that's made for kids, the main character is probably going to get their happy ending. And in this case, Luz's happy ending is to quote the words of Hannah Montana, to get the best of both worlds. Meaning, I think she will have the means to travel between both the human realm and the Boiling Isles with ease. For a long time now, I got the impression that Belos' grand scheme on the Day of Unity to unite the human realm with the demon realm is something that Luz wants and actually needs, minus the whole conquering the world part, of course. So, by the end of the series, I predict that everyone will be able to roam seamlessly between the two realms, solving Luz's dilemma of having to choose between one or the other. Let me know what you guys think about my thoughts and predictions. Do you personally think that Luz will be able to end up living in both realms by the end of the series? Comment down below. I want you all to please like and share this video if you can. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you want to check out more of my videos on the Owl House or other great shows. Thank you all for your support. I want you guys to have a splendid day ahead, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!